course, but he got himself some runs today in a difficult situation for Pakistan. Significant was that innings in the context of his career?
Well, to be honest with you, that was a brave effort to come at number 4, and he is constantly promoting himself to come up in the order, but he has to deliver it as well. 44 and now getting out at the very crucial stage was not helping the cause. However, Pakistan is a batsman short. We have been talking about it. They tried playing Haris Sohail in the last game, and they dropped him again. So that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And you're absolutely right. Playing with 3 batsmen out of 11 is never going to get you up beyond 250, 260, which is the minimum required to fight anything against India. 3 batsmen, only 3 batsmen. You need to have at least 4 to 5 specialist batsmen. You're trying to bank too much on your so-called all-rounders, and that is not going to do the trick every time.
Dr. Ansari, this is Nakul. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So you talked about the left out Haris Sohail, presumably to bring back Shadab. Presumably you would want Shadab Khan in the team as well. Who would you have left out for Shadab?
Shaheen Afridi.
Okay.
Shaheen Afridi. No question. Or Hassan Ali. Either one of those 2. Because if you look at the bowling analysis of all 3 pacers from the game against Afghanistan, we barely saw 1% of the deliveries pitching up into the block hold. They were feeding the batsmen to their strengths. That is why Afghanistan ended up getting 260 plus. However, if you're going to bowl like that, you are not really helping the cause. And Shaheen Afridi, with his inexperience, a game against India, and he's not bending his back. Amir hasn't bent his back. Amir is not 100% delivering what he's capable of. And then Hassan Ali. The Yorkers have become has really disappeared from the weaponry of Pakistan fast bowler, which is the main attack modem of Indian bowlers. We saw Bumrah, we saw Kumar. They're all getting into the block hold, and it's really strangling the batsman, which is missing in Pakistan lineup. Pakistan should have played Haris Sohail and dropped Shaheen Afridi.
Shaheen, of course, was a bit unlucky the other night, having a few 3 catches dropped off him in total. But another Pakistan bowler who's in the squad who has had a lot of success against India in recent times is Junaid Khan. Are you a little surprised that he hasn't got a go in either of the 2 games against Pakistan?
I am absolutely bamboozled by the fact that Junaid Khan, with his vast experience, is not preferred over Shaheen Afridi. I just don't get it. It's because of the pace, I can think, that Junaid is lesser, like a yard or so less than Shaheen Afridi. But remember, these are crunch games, and you cannot put your amateur right in front of players like Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who get nervous after a couple of boundaries and will keep putting it short, just like what he did against Afghanistan. I know there were a couple of drop catches on Shaheen Afridi bowling, but for all practical purposes, he doesn't have that weaponry that can bother the batsman at any given time.
I mean, I guess it's still very early in Shaheen's career, and time will tell how he develops. So you are right to say certainly that there's a bit of inexperience in these crucial games. Looking at this performance from Pakistan as well, obviously, regardless of what they do with the ball, they'll certainly be unhappy with the bat. And part of the reason for that has been Fakhar Zaman. I mean, Fakhar Zaman has been the spectacular performer for Pakistan, but he is, of late, he's kind of struggled with his form. In this tournament in particular, he's got a couple of very low scores, and today he was looking out of sorts. Even in the manner of his dismissal, it was somewhat embarrassing, to be quite frank, as a Pakistan supporter. Is Fakhar Zaman here to stay? Is he going through a bad phase? Do they need to give him a little rotation, a little rest? What's the deal with Fakhar Zaman?
Well, I tell you what, people like Fakhar Zaman are asset to Pakistan, no question about that. However, they need to acclimatize to the conditions very quickly that makes them from a good batsman and convert them into a best batsman. And in the case of Fakhar Zaman, coming back out of Champions Trophy and then ended up playing in a little bit better in New Zealand, relatively better as compared to his other colleagues, and then against five one-days against Zimbabwe, he was just fed on his strengths, and he ended up making a double century, and he ballooned himself. He flattered himself that, hang on, I'm the best batsman, I can score, I can play any shot I want. And as a result of that, when he came to Dubai and Abu Dhabi, he didn't realize the ball is not coming to the bat as he wants. and he needs to maneuver things. He needs to adjust his game a little bit, and the coach is there. That's why the coach's role is so important, to put him in a room and say, hey man, listen, this is not the same wicket what you were playing in Harare Sports Club. This is not the same attack you were facing in Harare Sports Club. You need to chill. You need to bring some more shots, and you need to rotate the strike. Every ball is not going to go over the fence. Either you play a dot ball or you play a boundary. That's what you're doing. And a good batsman doesn't do that. And sooner or later, they have to adjust the game. And if they don't, game basically desert them. That's it.
Could the same be said for Imam ul Haq?
Imam ul Haq is a class act, I have to tell you that. Imam ul Haq is definitely the future for Pakistan, because he's not a slogger. He's not a pinch hitter. He's not looking for boundaries every time. The innings he played against Afghanistan was a supreme example of grafting an inning and taking the pressure upon himself, playing against the #1 bowlers like Rashid Khan, and is still doing very well. Imam ul Haq needs to just grow in his stride a little bit. In the next year or so, you will see him as a permanent fixture of Pakistan cricket team. And Imam ul Haq has a little bit better technique, which is a little bit better footwork. Of course, he needs to do a lot more than this, but he can manage it. He's eager to learn. He's making progress every day, and he has a lot more to offer other than the fact that rotation of his strike. Imam ul Haq still has the same problem, that he's not rotating the strike. Now, this is the problem with the team which is #1 team in the T20s, because they are in that mindset where every ball has to cross the fence. And that is how they are playing one-day cricket at most of the time. And sometimes they get away with it, and sometimes they start embarrassing themselves and embarrassing the whole nation. And that is exactly what is happening in the last 3 to 4 games. That Pakistani batsmen are not able to convert or change their mindset according to the given condition.
Indeed. Now, what lies ahead for Pakistan is defending this total of 237. India will certainly be favourites going into this game, but for Pakistan to give themselves a chance, what do you expect to see from them in this fielding effort?
I will give you 3 tips. Number 1, if Amir can bring at least 20% of his deliveries into the right-handed batsman, such as Rohit Sharma, Pakistan has a chance. If Hassan Ali can hit the deck hard and pitch it full length into the block hold, and Shaheen Afridi using all his pace, his strength it looks like it is in the short pitch deliveries. But don't pitch short pitch deliveries on the chest height, because you will be losing the ball in the crowd. If you're going to pitch it short, pitch it to the neck of the batsman, and then you have a chance of getting a wicket. They all have to bend their backs. The 3 fast bowlers have to bend their backs. And then Shadab is always going to be critical. And then Nawaz. Nawaz will be your to-go man when you need to stop the run rate or slow the run rate down. He's not the big wicket taker. I know he took 3 wickets against Afghanistan, but his deliveries are very minimal, which you can call wicket-taking deliveries, like Shadab has or Amir has. But unfortunately, Amir hasn't been able to bring the ball back into the right-hander, and especially to Rohit Sharma in the first couple of overs. He needs to do that. If he does that, because Rohit is tentative in his front foot, Rohit is very, very leery when it comes to the first 12 to 18 deliveries, and he's watching his foot movement. And if you can trap him easy in front of the stumps, if you have that skill of bringing the ball back into him. But once he lets go, then he can come down the track and put you over the fence and at ease.
Indeed.
Reminiscent of the Champions Trophy final, of course, of that amazing spell that Ahmed and Junaid and Hassan Ali bowled in that game. Is there a role for Shoaib Malik with the ball? We saw him bat brilliantly again in difficult conditions. He and Sarfraz actually resurrecting the innings after Shoaib's heroics the other night. But on this pitch, which does seem to be taking some spin and it's difficult to score runs off the spin bowlers, is there a role for Shoaib with the ball?
Yeah, if I get your question right, you're asking me that about the batting of Shoaib Malik, because your sound is like, kind of muffled a little bit.
Actually, it was really the question of, we know that he batted very well and he's been in good form for Pakistan in this tournament. The question was about, is there a role for Shoaib Malik with the ball in this innings?
Well, the problem, here is the problem. Look. Shoaib Malik is a recognized all-rounder from the day he came in. In fact, he came in as an off-spinner, right? Then he started bowling those doosras, and his action was reported, and he corrected it. And now he can't bowl the doosras at all. And then he converted his skills into the batting format, and Inzamamul Haq worked very hard with him and made him a reliable batsman. The problem with Pakistan Cricket Board and the coaching staff is that they do not capitalize on those hidden skills or subdued skills of their players. Shoaib Malik should have been bowling throughout the Zimbabwe series in order to get his arm going, in order to get his mind going in terms of bowling. When you have Shadab and when you have Nawaz and when you have Amir bowling well, and the side is basically an amateur side, you're getting them out at 100, 150, 200 every game. You don't think of giving a chance to your part-timers, so-called part-timers, and giving them an opportunity to basically do well and start learning and start getting themselves some match practice. Shoaib Malik doesn't have a match practice. He's bowling round the wicket, trying to get into the defending mode and save singles. That's all he's doing. So his wicket-taking deliveries are also limited. He needs to come over the wicket, and the only time he will come over the wicket is when he's confident about his bowling and when as an off-breaker. When he comes in over the wicket and he tries to he's not a big turner of the ball, but he's much better than a lot of off-spin bowlers we are seeing in cricket world today, and they are saving runs, and at the same time they're taking wickets. But due to the lack of match experience and the fate of the captain and the coach, you are not given that opportunity. Pakistan has failed to produce these kind of all-rounders who can pitch in at very crucial stages, just like Kaldar Yadav does. I mean, just like Yuvraj Singh did, just like Darren Sammy did. I mean, there's a bunch of examples all over the world when coaches and captains give faith and confidence to their bowlers, to their all-rounders, to their batsmen, and say, hey, you can give me 5 overs every game. And go ahead, try it. Yes, we'll try you under easy conditions. And then once you get better, we'll put you in crucial games. And that gives a break to your regular bowlers, and because one of them may have a bad day at any given time. That's how it should be done.
Indeed. Well, Dr. Kashif Ansari, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to speaking to you again at the end of the game today for your thoughts on Pakistan's run chase. We're going to be taking a little break here on Guerrilla Cricket, but we'll be back with the live ball-by-ball coverage of India's chase of Pakistan's 237 score. We thank Dr. Kashif Ansari for his thoughts and insight. And in fact, we'll be back with you very, very shortly, Dr. Kashif. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And guys, we're going to take a little break. In the break, we're going to play you some highlights because I mean, I'd keep talking, but ultimately, I do need chicken.
Yeah. Just to keep you up to date with the other game in Abu Dhabi, Bangladesh ended on 249, so Afghanistan need 250 to win and keep themselves in the tournament and knock Bangladesh out. With the partnership basically seemed to be Mushfiq. Yes, it's Mushfiqur and Mohammedullah and Imrul Qais. Yeah, it's interesting that Imrul Qais and Sumya Sarkar got brought back into the Bangladesh squad. Apparently, the board president did so without consulting the chairman of selectors or the captain.
Wow, that's really bizarre selection. We'll have to talk about that a little bit later on. Right now, we're going to play you highlights from, I don't know. Let me have a little look-see in what we got in here. In our little collection, and while I do that, I just want to remind everybody that you can still make donations on our Patreon page. If you go to our Guerrilla Cricket feed on Facebook, on Crick Tracker, or on Guerrilla Cricket's page, you can have a look on the little banner at the bottom. It shows you all the $10 donors were. In any case, it's going across screen. There you go. Knuckles pointing to it now. There you go. In the correct spot. There we go. Loads of people. Peter Lloyd's there. Peter Swindler's there. Anyway, we've got some highlights for you. But if you do get a chance to donate, please do. Helps keep this whole operation going. We've got election coverage. Now, let's not do that. There we go. How about a bit of Ireland versus Pakistan? What do you think? Day 2, do you think? I think day 2 would be good. Let's go with Ireland versus Pakistan, day 2. We'll be back in a short while. Come back to us for live coverage of the chase.
A bit suspicious, the end of a wonderful over from Tim Murtagh, and the score at the end of that over is Pakistan 13 for 2. David Franklin.
Indeed, a wicket maiden from Tim Murtagh, and you just hear the crowd singing already. It's a wonderful sight to behold. Tim Murtagh has over 700 first-class wickets, and yet it must be such a nerve-wracking thing to come into what he knows is a massive day for Irish cricket. There have been no signs whatsoever of nerves so far, either from him or from Boyd Rankin. It's been a fantastic start from the Irish, and this man is about to face his first ball of this tour.
Yes, it's Sahel about to face his first ball. Almost run out without facing a ball. Almost run out without facing a ball there.
Just do some tweets quickly. There's various people joining us. Aziz Ahmed, Stephen Ellens, he's just off to play cricket, so he'll listen to us later. And my good friend Steve Jimman, Maidenhead United official, wishing me luck.
And a little chance for a single there, can again have to be quick. Haris Sahel toppling over as he takes a single. It was a no ball from the change of bowling there that looks like it's
this man.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I see